This particular presentation is about improving Turnitin wait time with Waypoint grading. And this is presented by me, Tony Sgarlatti. There's my email address, tony.sgarlatti@faculty.ashford.edu. The agenda for today is I'm going to explain who am I, what is the problem, what is the solution, and after the Turnitin scores are done, what do we do then? And finally, a wrap-up. First of all, who am I? Well, I started teaching at Ashford in January of 2009. I've taught 86 classes since about September 2017, and I hope to continue teaching here. I believe in continuous improvement, and I endeavor to improve my teaching and finding ways to reduce times. Going back a little bit, endeavoring to improve my teaching, all of the associate faculty at Ashford are scored on 3 basic criteria. An institutional quality review, which is an IQR, which is performed once a year. And then we get a score from our faculty support and development associate, who is our basic person that's watching our classroom every time we teach a course. And then there's an end of course survey. The IQR gets about 50%, the FSDA gets about 30%, and the end of course survey, EOCS, gets about 20%. So that's important to know, because the higher you get scored, you'll be teaching more classes here. Nevertheless, I'm always trying to find ways to reduce time. In 2016, I presented in the Teaching and Learning Conference, and that presentation was entitled Managing Your Online Classroom Using Microsoft Excel. This is especially important with Canvas because it's not glance visible who you've responded to in discussions, and this gives you a way to know how you're going to be doing that. And I recommend you watch that. I'm also a member of the Ashford Senate, and I represent all of the associate faculty, along with my co-Senate representative. 2 of us represent all of associate faculty. And I'm also a frequent contributor to the CITL discussions. If you go to the CITL homepage, click on discussions from the left of that page, then you'll see all the discussions you can respond to or read about, which is usually helpful for associate faculty and other questions and comments. Next, what is the problem? Well, if you've ever run a Turnitin report through Waypoint, it takes several minutes to run a report. Some people will start grading a paper while they're waiting for it to complete, but that could be a waste of time because you must complete the similarity report before you can grade, because if the similarity report's too high, you'll have to give a 0 to the assignment or review it more closely to see why it's so high, and you might have to turn in an I-ROAD report, which is a incident report of academic dishonesty. Okay, so what is the solution? Well, you're going to start the first report, and I'll be showing this in a little bit. Before the first report completes, you start the second report. You continue starting new reports before the previous one finishes until you've gone through them all. So in other words, the Turnitin reports are generated in the background. And you don't have to wait for one to finish. You do want to wait for the final one to complete, because if you don't, then that won't be part of the report. So if you close your browser before it's done, then you'll just have to do it by itself later. Okay, now I'll show you exactly what this looks like. Okay, here's a typical TurnItIn page or Waypoint page. Just click on Begin Grading. And then you'll notice on the left, Request Similarity Report. Click on Next Student after you see the little boxes generating. Wait until you see question marks. Click on Request Similarity Report. Click on Next Student. When the question marks come up, you click on Review Similar Report. Now it's generating, or I should say request, then generating. Next student, and then you'll keep repeating that. Request similar report, generate a similar report, the next student. I'm going to skip ahead to the last student. And you know you're at the last student because the next student is no longer visible and there's a previous in the upper right hand corner. So the last one finished. This one's 32%, which is a bit high. And now we're going to continue the slides. So once the scores are done, what do? Well, you log in to TurnItIn with your Ashford email account. If you don't have a TurnItIn account now, then create a new account using your Ashford email and a password that you pick that's other than your Ashford email account. And you may just click on Forgot Password and then it'll send you a link for a new password if this might be your first time using it. Select the class you just performed the TurnItIn reports on, and then you'll see at a glance all of the reports listed from lowest to highest scores, and also color barred. So you can see at a glance what you might need to review further. You may need to review some reports on an individual basis depending on what they are. Usually if it's over 25%, you'll want to click on the actual report and look at it closer. You might need to give a 0 for the assignments. And write in IROAD report as applicable, which stands for Incident Report of Academic Dishonesty. So now we'll look at how to do this. Here we are logging into TurnItIn. It's just turnitin.com. The login button is in the right corner. You put in your email address and your password that you previously created just for TurnItIn. If either is incorrect, it's going to erase them both. So try it again. Double check your spelling on your email address and your password. Click Login, and you're in. Then you select the class and the particular week. This was a week 4 assignment. Just click on View, and there's all your reports at a glance, from green to orange. I've had some reports red that were 99%. Nevertheless, click on the percent, and then the individual TurnItIn report will show up. And then you can go through the report. This particular presentation is not how to go through a TurnItIn report, but here it all is. And there you go. Okay, to wrap everything up, we covered how to quickly go through a TurnItIn report by clicking on Next Student while the first one is generating and going to the next one, and while they're all generating in the background, then you wait for the very last one. The very last one, depending on the size of the paper, may take between, I'm guessing, 6 and 15 minutes. And you don't want to go through, you don't want to start grading while you're generating one, because if the score is too high, you may need to scrutinize it, or you may need to give them a 0 for the assignment, and then write an incident report of academic dishonesty, an I-road report. And I showed you how once you've generated all the reports, you can log into TurnItIn and see them all at a glance. And it's advisable to do this early in the week so that you know which students you may need to email in case you're going to give them an extra chance to do the report over if it's way too high, or for example if they've repeated the course and they haven't told you, that'll be one indication that they've recycled their paper. And then they should have notified you ahead of time, but if they didn't, you still need to let them use their old paper. Okay, so I thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, tony.sgarlatti@ashford or at faculty.ashford.edu. Have a great day. Bye for now.